So, what have you got playing today? Myself, I am about halfway through Mission 1 in Maximum Apocalypse. In Maximum Apocalypse, you play a survivor in a post-apocalyptic world. You play in Maximum Apocalypse, you play a survivor in a post-apocalyptic world, undertaking various missions in a map that, as you can see here, is tile-based and is revealed as you move. In this game, I am playing as the Hunter, who, in my case, you can see your sheet, has a good amount of health, pretty sneaky when they need to be, with a special power that is super handy called Recon. When you recon, it allows you to reveal tiles that you are next to without actually having to step into them first. So as I'm playing solo, super handy. I've got a couple of things in my kit that I've equipped, camouflage and a bow, a bunch of stuff in my equipment, and also some things I've scavenged along the way. In this scenario, I started off at the van. Luckily, that monster, which is right there, wasn't there when I started, though I did have that zombie walker and zombie splitter that I had to deal with. I had to make my way around the map, first coming to this place that I've marked with this special little star marker. I'm investigating a radio signal. I had previously found the police station, which I'll have to head to after this, and rescue a scientist, and then, if I've got both of those, and then fuel for the van, I'll be able to win the scenario. Not very heavy spoilers here, since I'm only in the first actual mission of the game. The enemies, if you notice, are zombies, but in the game, there's a bunch of other enemies as well, getting a little bit more sci-fi-ish than just standard zombies, which is cool. It's a very simple game to play. You get a turn sequence card. Actually, you get several turn sequence cards. You can see here, very similar to something like Dead of Winter. You have multiple actions you can take care of on your turn. So I can move. I can use my special ability to recon if I wanted to flip over those two tiles. I'm going to need to search the gas station to complete that part of the quest. I also have to roll for monsters using these dice here. And you notice the numbers on those tiles indicate what, if those are rolled on the 2d6, where the monsters will show up. I was unlucky enough to have rolled previously 6, putting a monster on the van. I just noticed, actually, I should have put one on those city streets as well. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to make things a little bit harder for myself. Throw a monster token there. Now, I don't know which monsters those will be. I will have to reveal them from the monster deck when I get there. If you notice these tiles with these circles, those indicate scavenging opportunities, in which case I would draw for one of those 3 cards there. And depending on the color, better chances of getting certain types of equipment. Red is fuel, green is food, blue is ammo and gear, though there's a selection of things in each pile, including some monster tokens, or some monster reveals. So it's possible that as I'm searching for fuel or food, I could get a monster. Now, food is actually important because you grow hungry at every turn, and once you get hungry enough, your capabilities start to diminish. Right now, I'm at hunger 4. If I have to flip that all the way to 6, I'll have to start looking at that side of the board, in which things get a little bit spicier. Notice my ability to stealth, this number here, which means getting through those monster tiles without revealing the monster, gets a little bit worse. So I don't want to do that. I've already used some food previously, and that's another reason why you may want to scavenge, is to take care of that. There's a closer look at my monster token. I'm really digging this so far, though. I'm only on the 2nd mission. I really like these kinds of adventure games. Mechanically, very simple, but the map, you're basically, when you're setting up this map, you shuffle all of these tiles together, and then you create these different patterns, which is listed in the mission setup here in the book. I think you can, even if you wanted to, do these differently, but I'm just following it as the book, as the instructions provide. You start off with a van, make your way to different locations, try to get back with all your folks surviving. I'm playing true solo. You can also play with multiple characters, which I know a lot of solo folks like to do, but I'm just going solo. It's a couple of wrinkles. I get to add some allies to the monster deck, so one of these times I might flip over a monster, and it might not be terrible. It might be an ally who I can have join my party and add a little bit of extra ability to my team. I also get to have a little bit of extra inventory, and for solo play, the scavenge cards don't count towards your max inventory, which is super nice. I also think this is something I'll be able to play with my daughter. She's 9 and she's smart as a whip, but I think sometimes when I've tried to play some of the more complicated games with her during the setup and running through all the rules and just getting through the procedures, I think sometimes her eyes glaze over and a little bit of boredom starts to set in. With this, really quick setup, really simple actions. You just go with everything, roll some dice, see what comes up, and create your story from there. I've had it easy going so far. Other than those initial zombies, I've been able to move through a quiet and calm countryside, but I'm sure it will all change, and as I have to come back this way, since I have to end up back at the van, these monsters might come into play depending on, or whatever else I roll up, because presumably I'll be able to avoid those, but if I get any more monsters up in here, might be some trouble. Thankfully, I've already got my fuel. I'm just going to need to get that scientist, and I can get the heck out of Dodge. Well, I'm going to try to get this game going while the house is quiet and I have some time for myself. What are you playing today? Let me know. Other than that, game on, and I will talk to you later.